Hey Karma Nation, this is Trevis here with DFS Karma. We have right below me the Prop Goat. This is Ethan, aka the Prop Goat, who, as you can see by the graphic, by the YouTube thumbnail, by the name of this video right on screen, this crazy psychopath won $100,000 profit in Monkey Knife Fight solely in NFL props. So this is not an entire 2020 calendar year. This is not a collection of multiple props during the NFL season. This is NFL props, Monkey Knife Fight. And we decided this little video here to kind of pick his brain on thought process, some strategy stuff to help, our members of Karma Nation who are also playing props along with us. Just kind of help you guys, win a little bit more. Maybe there's some nuggets in here that you'll pick up on. It's like, oh, maybe I didn't think about that. That'll help me for, next NFL season, or maybe in this current NBA season or MLB season even. Now, some other housekeeping things is, depending on when you're watching this video, on March 1st, 2021, we are dropping a brand new, never before done on DFS Karma props only package. So for the history of our, 5+ years, we've dropped, core play packages, which focus on, DraftKings, DFS core plays, and, FanDuel and stuff like that. And we've sprinkled in, Monkey Knife Fight plays, prize picks, and now underdog fantasy plays, included them in these packages. But we've had a lot of people ask, I only want your Monkey Knife Fight plays. I only want your prize picks plays. Can you make a package just for the people who are only doing props and not necessarily DFS stuff? Bada bing, bada boom. We did it for you guys. So if you want a piece of that action on March 1st, 2021, go to dfskarma.com/props. PROPS. Without further ado, let's get right into the action. I think the first question here, for someone who's watching this for the first time, they're probably like, what the heck is a Monkey Knife Fight? What is a prop? Maybe they've only played DraftKings and FanDuel Standard Fantasy the entire time. So let's just start that off. How would you answer what is a prop play, and then of course compare that to what a DraftKings lineup?
Yeah, so with props, you are literally picking over under on a fantasy player score or stat. So for example, Aaron Rodgers, he's at 23.5 fantasy points. Do you think he goes over that, or do you think he goes under that? If he goes under, then the guy who's with him, say it's Kirk Cousins, they're playing each other. He's at 22.5. He goes over or under. If both go under, guess what? You win the 3x money or 3.5x. There's no tying, there's no sharks, there's no trains. There's literally picking the over under on a football player, quarterback, running back, receiver, whatever they have listed. That's all you're doing. DFS, you have to make lines, you have to fill in the blanks. You might have to update your line 20 times during the day. You might have to watch a 20-person train in front of you and you miss cash by one place. I remember doing that. I played DFS before went into props. But with props, you are clearly just picking the over-under, or they have another game called Rapid Fire where you have two quarterbacks going at each other. Who do you think has more passing yards in that game? Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr. If you pick Carr, he wins. Guess what? You win money. Same with the receiver or running back. If you pick the right running back, guess what? You win money. Again, everyone in our Discord can have the same play, and we all win the same amount of money. There's no time, there's no splitting like you see in DFS. Props are so much easier and a lot less stressful. So that's why I made the decision 2 years ago to go strictly props only. I left DFS behind me and haven't played since. I am strictly props only, and I love it. Most profit ever.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things about the Karma Nation premium prop community, as you were saying earlier, is that you could put a play out there like what we say like a 2-2, which, like he was saying, is that there's two players. Like, let's just say Aaron Rodgers over under 300 passing yards, Aaron Jones over under 70 passing yards. And then let's say Ethan says, I think based on my research and everything that you should go over on both these players. Every single member of our premium prop community that gets this play blasted to their cell phones, whether it's via text message or via the Discord chat notifications, every single person can play this exact same play and then have the exact same ROI. So there's no like splitting, like, oh, hey, we all won. Let's all, have 1% of what the winnings should be, like you said, like with standard DFS. So every single person, no matter what your bankroll is, we could all have the same exact ROI on this prop. That's one of my favorite things about the community is, we can all, it's all equalized in the winning side of things. Another question, let's get more to strategy here. For on the entire scope of the NFL season, I know. So if you guys are looking at this graph right now, so let me just point some few things out. If you guys, if your eyesight's bad, you can't really read it, like Anthony. Um, then the bottom right here says number of props played. So the first zero, that's where the green line starts, and it goes all the way to 300. So that's the number of props played. It's not week by week. It's just number of props played, and then the 30, 60, 90 you see going scaling up, that says total profits in tens of thousands. So 30,000 profit, 60,000 profit, 90,000 profit, and then you see right there where the green line stops at the very top. That's roughly 107,000. So he actually made over 100,000 profit, but of course 100,000 just sounds cleaner for a video. But that being said, from going from week one all the way to the end to the Super Bowl, were you? I know that, especially when you see kind of that, was it like around the 150 props played mark, it kind of starts skyrocketing. I know for a majority of the, I don't know, if it was the last 50% of the season, if not more than that, that you were max betting or max wagering on props because you grew your bankroll to the point where it allowed you to do that. But over in week one, there's not too much of a growth. So my question is, were you max playing your props in week one and just not being that successful right off the bat? Or what was your, I guess, just what was your week one strategy? The first question is, were you max betting overall? And then if there's any other strategy for week one, you can go into.
So just to throw the record out there, there are 17 weeks in the NFL season. Is that right, Travis?
I
I
mean,
think
there
there
might
is.
be there might be 18 this. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But
There'll be 18 soon.
yeah, counting the Super Bowl, playoffs, and regular season, we were not profitable only the entire NFL season, and that was week 4 and 5 or 3 and 4. I don't remember exactly. And both weeks we lost were because of injuries. Player got knocked out. But the strategy that we use early on, especially week one, is play light and don't play as much. Just because it's the first week of the season, especially this year, there was no preseason and there was no training camp. So COVID kind of threw things in a wrench. How are teams going to perform? And we didn't know that. There was so much unknown this NFL season. So we told the community, even myself included, we played like the first couple weeks. I think it was at week 6 or 5. That's when I really started upping my volume because we started seeing trends. For example, the Packers, they had the best time of possession out of all the teams in the NFL this year. So we knew if they came in with a lead in the second half, chances are they were going to just run the ball a lot, throw short passes. So there were a lot of Aaron Rodgers under passing yards when they had the lead second half. We saw, for example, the Bucks and the Rams. They had two of the best run defense. So we knew teams playing them go under on their running backs because they probably weren't going to have much success and they'd be trailing. So they had to throw the ball a lot. Trends like that we were able to identify after the first couple weeks in the season. And that's why you saw my play really increase a lot after that 6, 7 week. I think it was actually week 6 after our 2 losing weeks where I hit a GPP play, which was a 4 for 4 fantasy play. And I think that was 20 or 30x. No, that was 20x my profit. No, 10x because I put $500 on it and I got 5,000 or $4,500 profit. And that's when we really started upping our play. But yeah, early on in the season, play light. But once you start seeing those trends with teams and seeing what teams have good run defense, what teams are trailing all the time, cough Texans and Cowboys, who just threw the ball all second half because they were always trailing. That's what we started attacking come week 6, week 7, and so on until you got to the playoffs.
So that kind of answers the second question I was going to ask you: is how did your research and or strategy change throughout the season? So you already mentioned that you play light at the very beginning, wait
Yeah.
till those trends develop, and then use those trends and attack the trends. Um, but in terms of like research, did you change your research at all? Did you say, like, let's say week one you were only looking at these things, and then by week eight you're like, I'm looking at like 20 other factors. Like, in terms of research strategy, did that change at all during the season?
Not so much. The only thing that really changed a lot was you had to really start paying attention to the injury report. As you know, NFL is a very contact sport. Guys get hurt a lot. There were guys who would come into the game, not practice all week, and they would struggle come game time. So stuff like that, we would start to identify and pay attention to. Hey, if this cornerback hasn't practiced all week, they have a bum ankle. They're going up against, say, Mike Evans. Chances are Mike Evans is probably going to torch him just because he doesn't have the practice, the stamina. So he's been hurt. So stuff like that we noticed. But research-wise, not so much of a change. We just really identified the teams that we were going to attack, and we attacked those teams week in, week out, moving forward.
All right, moving on to another question I wanted to ask you. There are a good handful of different contest types throughout all of our prop partners, but especially on Monkey Knife Fight, which is the one we're talking about here. Um, so, in terms of all of the contest types they have, what is your number one favorite contest type for
Okay,
NFL?
so what I love, and I think it's the best way to build bankroll, whether or not you're playing with $100, $5, $2, you're a new person, the 2 for 3 rapid fires are the best. And 2 for 3 is all. So you have three guys going up against each other: quarterback versus quarterback, running back versus running back, and then receiver versus receiver. All you have to do is get two of those right, and you win. Though I think it was a 1.8x to start the year, and by the end of the year it was like 1.7. So, for example, we'll do Raiders versus Chiefs. Derek Carr would probably have a 55.5 yard passing advantage over Mahomes. Well, if Carr threw more yards than Mahomes, you win that matchup, even with the advantage. Same with the running game. If whoever was running back for Chiefs, Clyde Hare, if he had less yards rushing than Jacobs, and you pick Jacobs to beat him, guess what? You win. There's two wins right there. You win the prop already. So those are the safest, and that's something Joey's our other prop expert, who we always try and post at least one, but usually you post at least 3 or 4 2 for 3 plays, whether or not it's a rapid fire or a over under, because all you have to do is get two out of 3 right, compared to a 2 for 2, which I love personally, because that you get your 3.5x, so you pretty much double. But there you have to get all two right, and if you miss one, well, you don't get any money. So 2 for 3s are always the safest and best way to build bankroll.
Yeah, so both those contests, you still have to get two right to win money, but because there's the ability to get something wrong in that two out of three play, that's why the multiplier there is just a little bit lower. Um, all right, so let's move on to another question here I had for you. So if you, I'm positive that if you're watching this video, I'm hoping and I'm positive if you're watching this video, then you know at least a little bit something about DFS Karma and dfskarma.com, where we offer premium subscriptions that give you access to a bunch of tools, models, core plays, prop plays, everything under the sun. As I mentioned, March 1st, 2021, we're dropping that brand new props only package. Something I was going to mention as well is if you at this point in the video still do not have a Monkey Knife Fight account yet, pause this video, go over to monkeyknifefight.online, create an account, use promo code Karma, they'll give you a free $50 deposit bonus, first time deposit bonus, and then come back to this video and watch the rest of it. But make sure you knock that out. Do not forget to make a Monkey Knife Fight account, and don't forget to use that promo code Karma to get that bonus. But we have a very large community that we've migrated to Discord. We started on Slack a couple years ago and moved to Discord because it was just more user-friendly and admin-friendly. And what we do is when Ethan has a play, he'll be on the app or the mobile site. He'll take a screenshot on his phone, and then he'll just literally blast it into our premium channel that only our premium subscribers can access. When I say blast, it just makes it where it's a notification. So you know how you have any kind of notification pops up on your phone. It'll be like, Ethan just dropped something in the premium NFL props channel. Let me see what it is. You can see the image of his play. You go to it, you lock it in, bada bing, bada boom. But that being said, I want to know, Ethan, from your brain, what do you think the number one incentive is for someone being a part of this premium prop community that we've kind of grown exponentially over the last, 2 or 3 years now?
Yeah, we've grown a lot. Yeah. So I think one of it is second half plays. I think second half NFL plays are the most profitable plays you can find. But with that being said,
Are you saying the
is
most profitable in NFL, or do you even
yeah,
think they're the most
NFL,
profitable across all sports?
only NFL, only NFL.
Okay.
The only other sport I think that offers that's NBA, and it's definitely not NBA. So NFL only, but you need a community to help. So Joey and I are just two people, especially those noon games where you have 9 or 10 at one time going on. They all finish first half around the same time. It is nearly impossible for just Joey and I to catch every single play. We miss stuff. It
When you said
happens.
noon game, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, oh yeah, you're Central Time. 1
Yeah,
p.m.
I'm
Eastern
Central.
Time, you
Yeah, I'm
weirdo.
Central Time. Yeah, 1 p.m. Yeah,
Continue,
I'm
continue.
I'm noon. But the good thing about our community is if someone finds something they think it's good, they'll post it in our Discord chat for premium only. And Joey and I can quickly look at it and analyze it really quickly and say, oh, that is a good play, and just tag everybody to that play without us having to post the play. And it happens all the time during NFL season is Joey and I will be looking at, a different game and somebody will post a play for a totally different game. Hey, we like that too. Here's our play. All of a sudden you have 10, 11, 12 props dropping for second half. And only maybe 5 or 6 of them were from Joey and I. The other half are from members in Discord. But Joey and I will always tag everybody if we feel a play that's dropped is a really good play, something that we would drop. So y'all know what to play and what not to play. But I think that's honestly the number one incentive of our Discord second half prop. We work as a team. It's not just oh, how much money can I win by myself? No, the goal is everybody wins the same props, wins the same amount of money depending on your bankroll, but we want everybody to walk away winning money. That's the ultimate goal. That's why we're all in Discord. It's not just to watch me win $100,000 each NFL season. No, I had one sub tell me that he started with $200 and ended up at $14,000 this year for
Nice.
NFL. So, depending on your bankroll, but everyone in Discord this year won a lot of money. It wasn't just only because of Joey and I, it was because the subs were helping each other too, in addition to our plays. So that's the biggest incentive, and why I don't recommend going at this alone is because there's just no way, if you're not in a community, that you can look at every single second half prop. It's just not going to happen. And
Yeah.
chances are you're missing stuff if you try that route. But in our community, we don't miss stuff because we have everybody looking at props. And trust me, I spend my entire Sunday watching football and staring at props all day long. So, we really don't miss much in our community. So that's the number one incentive why you need to get in.
So, like, just to add on to that, so something you're saying is 2 to 3 years ago when we first started, I think it was like December 2018 is when we first introduced Karma Nation, which is the name of our Karma community, to Monkey Knife Fight for the first time. And when we started, doing the here's our plays and stuff, it was it was very heavy on clueless people that just reacted to what was sent to them and they locked it in. But over the growth we've had of 2 to 3 years of our people who are insanely amazing at analyzing data and historical data and just research points and everything under the sun, projections, whatever it may be, this video on top of that, we've past 2 to 3 years we've kind of had our experts and our expert analysts teach people, this is what I look at, this is what I'm doing, this is why I picked this prop play. We're not just someone who just throws a play out there and just hopes it hits. Like, they do research, they drop the play, they'll tell you what the research was, and so you'll learn from this research. And so, like he's saying, now in this NFL season, we literally had Joey and Ethan were leading the way with this NFL props division, but we had so many people, because they've been with us for years, learning their Ethan and Joey's research process and their thought process, throwing these plays in there and saying, hey, I kind of like this, or, Ethan, what do you think about this play? Ethan might be looking at a completely different game on Monkey Knife Fight online, and then he'll be like, oh, I didn't even get a chance to look at that yet, but yes, 100% lock that in. And then why he was just talking about that, how it's even 20x as important with second half props, is second half props, you only have like a 5 to 10 minute window. So
Not even.
Monkey Knife Fight will put a second half prop play or all their plays out for a second half of a game, probably like at the 2 minute warning of the second quarter, maybe, if you're lucky.
Yeah, sometimes less. Yeah.
Yeah, so with it 2 minutes or less, you'll get, here's all your plays, and then you have a very short period of time to, like, okay, let's just say 30 seconds, or let's say halftime they'll drop them. Sometimes if there's injury concerns, they won't even drop them till halftime. And then you have from halftime until, I think, like 5 minutes before halftime ends and the third quarter starts, do all of this research across every single game that's part of halftime. And so when you have this entire community of prop intelligent people all kind of doing research together, that helps out Ethan and Joey, because maybe someone will find a play. They're like, nah, I don't really like that too much. It doesn't make sense based on the game script. But there's so many times that people just out of the blue. We have people who are known for doing this now, and people out of the blue like, I kind of like this play. I'm like, yes, everyone pound that play, and then because Ethan and Joey have that admin access, they can blast the entire channel, which again means it sends a notification to your phone like, hey, I know you're enjoying NFL Sunday right now, but if you want to make some money, I highly recommend plug in the second half play. I think
And the only plays I play are plays that I tag everybody in or Joey tags everybody in.
yes.
That's it.
So
There's no
that
behind
is
the scenes play. It's literally if a sub finds a play and I like it, I tag everybody. That means I'm playing it too. Same with Joey. That's all this winning that you're seeing is strictly from stuff that Joey and I are tagging everybody in that we're playing.
that is something that I failed to mention at the very beginning, which is a very huge point. So you see from 0 to roughly right before 300 on the bottom there. Every single prop that is part of this scale or this chart that was put together was not just played by Ethan, but was sent into our premium community. So if you signed up for our any either MVP subscription last year or NFL Core Plays and Props, either of those two, starting week 1 all the way through the Super Bowl, and you had the subscription, you got access to every single play that was part of this. Granted, maybe you would have started with a lesser of a bankroll, but you would still have the same ROI all the way to the top, profit-wise. So yeah, every single play is part of this. This isn't just Ethan saying this is one play I like, and while he's playing like 10 by himself, every single thing that is part of this graph, every single prop play was given to our premium community, which is a huge selling point. That's why we don't even need to have marketing for this new props package.
Yeah.
Hey, if you literally did what we told you to do last year, you would this graph that would have been your ROI. Granted, if you weren't playing like 1,000 things yourself with poor strategy and losing all of that on your end, but that's what we just love teaching strategy and making sure that doesn't happen. I guess my last question here to wrap up this video is: is there any last comments for someone who is maybe they signed up for Monkey Knife Fight recently, or maybe they haven't yet? They're interested in getting into it now that they know that if they pay attention to us, they can have a nice ROI on NFL or NBA or baseball. It's starting up soon. I'm really excited for. Baseball props are fun. We target the strikeout props crazy heavily.
Yes.
For pitchers, but yeah. Any last comments for someone who is extremely new to not maybe just Monkey Knife Fight or just fantasy props in general?
My biggest piece of advice is don't go at it alone. Really, that's a terrible way of going about it. That's the number one mistake I made early on in my career. Like you said, Travis, y'all started this back in December of 2018. I joined Karma myself probably March of 2019. And I found you by all those winning Monkey Knife Fight screenshots you were posting on Twitter. And I thought I could do it on my own. It seemed easy enough, just looking at what you were playing. But I failed. And I joined this awesome Karma community. I learned. I talked to Joey. He was already a prop expert before I joined. And now look at me. Over 100K winnings in NFL. So join our community. Don't go at it alone. You will not succeed. I'm just going to be very honest, blunt with you. You will not succeed.
Well,
I don't know.
Even though that may be true, I don't think you would say you would not succeed. It's still possible to succeed. It's just a whole lot easier to succeed behind a community of like-minded, prop intelligent people. So it's not that you can't succeed, because that's just
you can, but it's very hard. It's very hard to succeed on your own. And I feel like if you go at it alone, your floor is a lot lower than if you were with us in our community. You have a higher chance of making more money with having a community.
I'll accept that. A higher ceiling.
Yes. You see where I'm getting at now.
This guy.
But props, you can win so much money with props, way more than DFS. I was telling you pre-show. I played DFS probably 5 or so years. I never won this much money, ever. Not even my 5 years combined. Props are just a game changer. They're so less stressful, so much easier to where give them a try. One thing that we really pride ourselves on, we offer props for every possible sport out there, whether it's tennis, video games, hockey, college hoops, college football, you name it, we offer it. and we offer expert props for it all. It's not like we're just randomly throwing out random stuff. Right now the big two sports are college basketball, NBA, and golf. We're offering those props to our community, but you enter our community, I think you won't find a person that will tell you that I wasn't successful NFL season. Every person in community that I talk to, and I talk to a lot of people because people are always trying to pick my brain, they profited not just hundreds of dollars, but thousands of dollars all last NFL season. And I had people who told me, I regret not entering until week 6 or 7. Um, Ride it with us all year. You'll see the profit come in, thousands of dollars. It's very possible. We showed it last year. So, and this is our second, this coming up NFL season will be our third year. And, the first year we did props, we had 4 losing weeks in NFL season. Still profit though, but not as much. Last year we had 2 losing weeks all season. Next year we're hoping to have just 1 losing week. But that's one thing Joey and I are always doing. We're trying to better ourselves and better the community, because the better the community, the better we are as a group. And that's why I entered Karma.
Well, that being said, that wraps up this video. Appreciate Ethan giving us some insight on his brain when it comes to how he analyzes things and how he approaches the NFL season. This is 100,000 profit on NFL alone, but like you mentioned, we do have people who are specialists in different categories. So, like you said, we do have right now, as a recording of this, we have a college basketball guy who focuses on college basketball props. We have a NASCAR guy that focuses on NASCAR props. Like, we don't have just one person just trying to be good at everything. We have people who are specifically good because they watch and they're gung ho about this sport or that sport. And it's not just one person trying to do everything. But I hope you guys took a lot from this video. If you have any questions, you can either ask us in the Discord chat. It's free to join. Just go to chatdfs.com, or you can leave a comment on this video if you have any questions. If you made it this far through, congrats. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the premium channels. I'm really looking excited. I'm really looking forward to the MLB season, because I personally am a
Me
huge
too.
fan of the strikeout props and the fantasy points over under for pitchers. That's kind of my personal favorite thing. Props
I'll
wise.
say this: baseball was my second biggest profitable sport this year, so I'm excited.
So, dfskarma.com/props. We'll see you guys in the premium channels. Hope you enjoyed, and catch us in the chat room.